It's known as the country at the end of the world, and despite its vast array of natural and architectural splendor, it remains largely untouched by international tourism. Plagued by a history of violent earthquakes and brutal dictatorship, parts of the country have managed to rise from the ashes, while others are still suffering hardship, creating a landscape of stark contrast.
Bienvenidos a Chile!
Argentina's skinny neighbor to the west, Chile lies on the Pacific coast of South America and is officially the world's southernmost country. Its name appropriately translates to where the land ends, and it was the last country in the Americas to be colonized by the Spanish. Although the country is just 230 miles across at its widest point, from north to south it stretches for more than 2,500 miles. To travel its entire length would take several weeks, so I'll be limiting my visit to just a small portion. I'll begin my journey in Santiago. I'll then visit the coastal cities of Valparaiso and Viña del Mar before heading to the old colonial mining town of San Jose del Maipo. I'll end my journey in the Andes Mountains. With a population of almost 8 million people, Santiago is Chile's capital and largest city. Founded by Pedro de Valdivia in 1541, the city saw a huge influx of wealthy entrepreneurs in the early 1900s, transforming the city's urban landscape. In these days, the city's culture and architecture is more European than Latino. Although the city has recently experienced an economic boom and claims to be the safest and most developed in Latin America, much of Santiago is largely in decay, and theft, graffiti, and homelessness are still a major issue. In addition, the city's violent geologic past means much of its original colonial architecture has been lost, and these days reconstructed colonial churches stand next to modern skyscrapers. But despite this, some parts of the city still maintain an old-world charm, and the city is also known for having some of the finest commercial districts in Latin America.
A ty mi też weszłaś. Okay, so here's the deal. We arrived in town at around 6 a.m. in the morning, but the place we're staying at won't check us in till 3, which leaves us about 9 hours. So we decided to just come here to the Plaza de Armas and begin our sightseeing of the city. That building you see behind me is the Metropolitan Cathedral. The current cathedral actually dates from 1775. Previous structures that stand here were destroyed in earthquakes. Over the next century and a half, several additions were made to the cathedral. That beautiful building you see behind me is a former Palacio de Real Audiencia, and it's actually one of the most important buildings in the entire country because this is where Chile's first National Congress and the offices of its first president were housed. All that makes it the perfect place to house the National History Museum.
And the building itself was built in 1804, and the museum showcases key moments of Chilean history and culture. We have some traditional musical instruments right here. Right here we have some artifacts salvaged from the La Esmeralda warship, which was sunk off the coast of Iquique during the War of the Pacific. Right here we have some rifles used in the War of the Pacific. Right here we have some artifacts from various pre-Columbian tribes that inhabited Chile. Right here we have some Inca ceramics. Some more Andean ceramics. Right here we have some artifacts from the local Mapuche Indians. Right here we have an original Mapuche poncho. This wooden statue right here actually would have been placed on top of Mapuche tombs. And right here we have some Mapuche silver. Right here we have some daggers and baskets from the Yamana tribe. Right here we have a sacristy wardrobe from 1760.
Alright, there's the old post office.
It was actually built on the site of the first house in Santiago, which was home to Pedro de Valdivia.
This beautiful building right here is the Cuerpo de Bomberos, the old fire station. This building right here is the Church of Santo Domingo. That was completed in 1796. This beautiful building used to be behind as the former National Congress building. Original building was built in 1875. It was rebuilt in 1901 after being burned to the ground in 1895. Yeah, no. Oh, to jest ładnie.
Pokaż temu facetowi. Jest biały budynek.
This is the Iglesia de Santa Ana. The current structure dates from 1933. Another museum in Santiago that is a must-see is the Museum of Pre-Columbian Art. Housed in the former Palacio de Real Aduana, the museum showcases thousands of years of pre-Columbian history and showcases cultures from across Latin America.
Here we have some traditional turbans and caps.
Right here we have some big Roma jars from Valdivia. Right here we have some artifacts from Rapa Nui.
Right here we have some Mapuche ceremony including waist belts and ponchos. These beautiful artifacts behind me are probably the most famous and most spectacular in the whole museum. They're called chimamilas, and they were placed atop of
Mapuche
tombs in ancient times. And they reflect the spirit or all of those buried there and are intended to assist them in their journey to the afterlife. The museum's most famous exhibit actually is extremely well preserved
Chinchorro.
mummies. These are actually said to be the oldest mummies in the world.
These figures right here are from the Hamacuaque culture of Ecuador. Right here we have a figure from the Manta culture of Ecuador.
Right here we have some artifacts from the Mesoamerican tribes. Right here we have some artifacts from the Olmec, Maya, and Veracruz cultures of Mexico. Right here we have a beautiful Aztec figurine.
This spectacular artifact right here is a jaguar man from the Nicoya culture of Costa Rica. These artifacts right here are from the Vicus and Moche cultures of Peru.
Right here we have some artifacts from Chile's Atacama region, from the and San Pedro cultures.
Right here we have another chinchora's mummy. This one is actually a baby. Right here we have some zoomorphic ceramics from the Diaguita culture of northern Chile and Argentina. Right here we have some ceramic jars from various Chilean cultures. Right here we have some Mapuche silver clothing pins. Some more Mocha artifacts. Right here we have some Mocha face masks. They're actually from a tribe in the Amazon. These artifacts right here are actually from the Taino in the Caribbean.
Behind me is the city's famous Casa Colorado. It was built in 1770 and is one of the few remaining colonial buildings in the city. It was the home of Don Mateo de Toro y Zambrano, who in 1810 became the first president of the newly elected Chilean junta government. And what's unique about this house is that it actually has 2 floors, which was rare at that time. Don Mateo's family would have lived on the 2nd floor, and his offices would have been housed in the bottom floor. This beautiful building you see behind me is the Basilica La Merced, and the current church dates from 1736. A church door, and it's covered with graffiti.
Throughout the city you'll find these pedestrian-only zones, which are lined with high-end department stores, cafes, and street vendors.
I just discovered that here in Santiago they have these cool coffee shops where you actually drink your coffee standing up. You can do it indoors or outdoors. Yeah, you can either order coffee or tea, and you drink it standing up. I know.
Bailemos otra vez la canción que el viento nos cantaba el ayer. Ya sabrá el infierno cómo hacer para secar como he podido matar.
finally been allowed to check into our apartment, which I'm extremely happy about because I'm exhausted. I'm really glad to see that it's a lot nicer than I anticipated. Here's the view we have from our room. We actually chose a really good location because right behind our apartment we have the city's famous Cerro Santa Lucia.